As an aspiring DP, there are things I've learned over the years, and I think we often give attention to the big things on set. I mean, talking about the cameras and lenses and lights and all of this obvious and like obvious stuff on set. But there are some little things I've realized that they actually affect the production way, way more than these, so to say, big things on set. And there was a video I talked about set design and how you actually change production and what you end up seeing on your camera. And as little as that might seem to people outside of film production, like people doing events and all of those things, kind of like want to take the camera and do all this run and gun kind of thing. But in the film world, there is just that aspect of giving enough time for set design, giving enough time for all of those other things that are not in quotes so important to other people from the outside world. Um, Speaking about that topic, there is something that I've come to realize recently that is very important, and that's communication. And communication on set is very, very important. And you know what is more important than communication? Is effective communication. And when I mean effective communication, is it's just not about you saying something to someone and that's the person saying something back to you. That's probably communication. But effective communication is actually passing a message across, and the person you're speaking to is actually able to grasp what you are trying to talk about and act on it. So, uh, you're on set, you want to pass an information across to your gaffer to adjust your light, you want to pass information to your director as DP, and you are struggling to reach to them and you have to leave your camera, you have to leave your position just to pass the information across, or you have to shout over the top of your voice just to get those information across to them. One, the information might not be passed as it should be passed because you are struggling to get the information across. And two, there'll be people here and there that might be getting the information that you're trying to pass across, and it might be specifically meant for your director alone or your gaffer alone. All of this problem can be solved by something like this. And if you're wondering what this is Synco wireless headsets for communication on set. And as little as this seems, it is very important. So full disclosure, Synco did send me this, but this is not just literally about this headset is about effective communication on set, like I said earlier. This is a wireless headset that you can use as a medium of passing your information from yourself to other person on set or to other set of people on set. And this works seamlessly. I'll say some things about this headset and I'll move on to talking about my effective communication. So, quick one. Like I said, they did send me this and they don't have any impact on what I'm saying. And I've said this like several times on my channel that I only talk about gears that actually help my production and I feel that they will be useful for me. I've turned down some like collaborations and stuff before because I know they won't really fit in my workflow and I don't want to present stuff to people that I feel like they are not useful to me. Obviously, they might not be useful to some people that are doing the same thing like what I'm doing. So this is one of the things that I would highly recommend for any DP, any director, um, gaffer. I mean, it's not too expensive. You can get this for yourself. You can get set of two, set of four, set of six, and I think set of eight also. Well, I'll confirm that and put that on the screen. So one thing that this does very well, that I'm very, very amazed with. Before they sent this to me, I mean, I had no idea. All I know is that one is always the master and the other kind of like receive from this one O master. But this is a little bit different from that knowledge. So because these sets, there are four of them in the back, there's no master, there is no receiver, there is no in quotes. One has to be the one as the main master. So all of them, all you need to do literally is just turn them on and you can start speaking. And I tried this the first time I opened it. I took one out, I took the other one out, turned them on, and I had one on me, and then I gave my daughter one. I mean, we could pass the information, and she was surprised that she could hear my voice um, live, and she could also hear it through the headset. I mean, it's that simple. Like, I don't have to literally press any other button than turning the headset on, and that is seamless. Like, that's what I want. Like, I don't want to start. I have other things I need to deal with on set. I don't want to start messing about with one headset, though it's very important on set, like I said earlier. But if things can work seamlessly like this, it saves me time, and a lot of time saved actually affects me as the director of photography or as the director on set to think about something else that is very important on set. So I've been using this headset on a couple of projects. I've used it on commercial projects. I've used it for show films, and I'm just impressed because it is those little things that you don't always have with you, or those little things that you don't put attention to, and then the moment you try them out or you get them, you see how much is affecting your production or is helping your production. And so while using this on set, I mean, there was a set I did recently, and I had to shine light through a doorway. um, it's a glass door, and I couldn't access. I mean, we can't open the door without turning the fire alarm on, so I have to go through the back to set the light, and the other person inside asked one of these on her, and I could communicate easily with her and say, "Oh, how does this look inside? Does it feel like what we want to get? Should I turn it left? Should I turn it right?" Imagine if I don't have the communication or any wireless kind of system, and having to go forth and back. I mean, imagine the kind of work that I had to do to go through the back and adjust the lights, come back inside, check the camera and see how it looks. And if I had to go back again, I mean, imagine how many times I would have wasted on sets having to deal with one single light and thinking about every other thing I need to set on the set. So this actually saved me time on set that day. And I mean, they're just something that you can whisper to the ear of other people that has this on, and the clients or the actors don't have to be involved in that communication. So these are some things that are very, very important. And if you've not gotten anything like this before, I would recommend maybe renting one and seeing how it actually works on set before buying. But if I mean, these things are not expensive. If you have the budget, I would highly recommend getting one of these. I know there are more expensive ones, but what you can get on this, trust me, I'll list some things that are amazing about this, because it's actually very amazing. I mean, if I've had this before, I'll probably not buy some things I have bought, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I mean, if you have the budget, this is something I highly recommend. And speaking about things that actually stood out for me, one, like I said, is the fact there is no master and there is no receiver, so to say. All you need to do, turn it on, and you can start talking. Put the microphone back up like this, and you are not talking, and everything is quiet. The other thing that is very important and I love about this headset is that you can actually use this as a monitoring headset. There is a 3.5 jack port on this, and you can use this to monitor your audio from your camera from anywhere you are recording your audio to. That would have saved me money from getting something like this. I mean, this is specifically built for monitoring audio, so you probably outperform the Synco in that regard. But I mean, if you are in a situation whereby you left this at home or you forgot this and you need something to monitor your audio, and you have your headset which you are monitoring, it's not affecting your communication with others. If you want to talk, you can easily bring this down and you can start talking. The other thing that I love about this set is that it came in a box. One, it has a pouch for each headset, and it came with spare battery for all of the four headsets. I mean, the package is like, I won't fault it for anything. I mean, the package is for the price is perfect. There's no issue with that. The other thing I like about it is the fact that you can turn on noise cancellation. If you have done a music video, a concert, live concert, and all of that, you know that communicating with your crew is very important, and like, I mean, very, very important. And you can struggle because the place is always like very noisy, and to get your information from yourself to someone, even when you are beside each other, you have to like whisper into the ear, and it's still very loud kind of environment. And I will try as much as possible to try this in a church setting and see how well they perform. And I will probably do an aftermath of that and just talk about that. So yeah, like I said, I've tested this in church and it absolutely worked amazingly. Like there was no interference, despite the fact that the decibel in church was a bit higher than what you usually get on film set. This was fine. I was able to communicate with others that had the headset on, and they were able to hear me, and they were also able to communicate to me, and I was able to hear them, and we were able to do our job well, because we had something that we could use to pass information across without having to move. And despite the noise level around us, we were still able to communicate. And we also tried to check the range, and we went like outside of the church and far, far, far outside of the church. And the other persons were still able to say a word, and I could hear where I was in church, which like guarantees the fact that, oh, they said 500 meters, well, I don't have to get a meter rule or a tape rule to measure 500 meters. Well, that kind of distance covered when we did a test, I mean, it's more than enough for anybody. So if you're thinking you're filming in a stadium, in a musical concert kind of environment, and you're wondering if this will serve, I can vouch for that. um, I've tried it in my scenario, it works absolutely fine, and there was no issue. When it went a little bit, when the person that had the headset went a little bit too far, it started breaking, and I could tell that it's losing the frequency. So if you want to do the extreme, maybe get something way more than 500 meters. Well, for this, it works fine. And if you are a wedding photographer, a wedding videographer, someone that covers events a lot, I think this will also work for you, for your crew. If you are struggling to hear yourself when the speakers and like the volume of where you are is louder than your own voice, this is something that will come in place for you and absolutely help your production. So back to the video. This thing is actually very light, like very, very light. So if you are wearing them for 8 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours on set, 12 hours on set, I don't think you feel uncomfortable for any reason. Well, that's about these headsets. I mean, there are more stats, and these are things that I actually use a lot on set. So these are the most important part for me. So if you need more informations about this, you can actually check them on the website. And back to effective communication. Effective communication, like I said, is something that is very well overlooked. And this is not just like, it's not just filmmaking, it relates to everything about life. Like when you're talking to your partner, when you're talking to your children, when you're talking to your parents, your business partners, your co-workers, like anybody around you, and you're doing something together, there is that, like, I don't think we often place more importance on effective communication. Like I said, it's not just about communicating, and that's where we get things wrong, because we think if I say something to you, you hear what I say, and um, you say something back to me. That's communicate. Like it's a two-way thing. Like I say something to you, you say something to me back. The important thing is what I'm saying to you, isn't being absorbed, isn't being digested, isn't being understood. That's, I think at that point, that's where I'll categorize effective communication. And back to this Synco and headset thing, because I can say something to you without this headset and you probably hear me, but there is like, I'm bridging, I'm jumping from this channel to that channel to say something to you, because um I'm not using this headset. But the moment I have this headset on, you are there. Nobody between us here, if I talk very quietly, nobody can hear our conversation. Nobody can, like, I'm not saying, I'm not talking about being secretive. It's more about me actually passing this information out to you, and you can get the details of what I'm saying without any noise interference, without any obstruction from any like building, noise, people, and all of that. So to me, it is very important that what I'm trying to say to you, you can comprehend it, and anything that will allow me to send the message well to you so that you understand what I'm trying to say, I will absolutely go for it. So, in my case, on sets, in filmmaking, this is one of the things that can help me pass information across to people that I work with, and information can be received and acted upon. As you go, if you have nothing to take away from this video, don't forget effective communication is very important. And in your day to day life, try and make sure that the information you're passing across is accepted, received, acted upon, and useful as well. So, yeah, if you've learned anything from this video, please don't forget to always like the video and do all of the YouTube stuff like subscribe, share, comment, and you know those stuff, right? So, uh, uh, just a way of introducing myself, or just a way of making myself known to you that you're watching on the other hand. My name is Samuel. I'm an aspiring DP based here in north of England, and I'm learning every day to better myself in filmmaking, in cinematography, lighting, and all of those things. And as I'm doing this, I'm gonna be sharing videos that are related to this industry. And if you're interested in stuff like this, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in another video coming up very soon.